This is part 15 of building the podcast monitor. We're going to implement the parser in this one. Last time we left off with the creating all the tests, so now we just need to write the logic that'll make all the tests pass. Obviously, there's plenty of ways you could do this. We can get this test to pass fairly easily. You can just simply go in here and return an empty dictionary. And then if we run our parser tests, we'll see that 4 of the 5 tests fail, but now the first one passes. Granted, can't really do this to fix any of the other ones. So come back here and we'll have all 5 fail. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we're going to basically use this prototype code here to parse out the information. So the first thing that would get it to pass, so if this doesn't get it to pass, well, what would? Okay, well, we could say return and then return that. Now, we get 1 to pass. We have 4 left that fail. But now we can actually add something in here that'll get this other one to pass. So if we look at the next test, we want to be able to return the title, language, the copyright. And overall, we want to be able to return the title, language, copyright, URL, description, author, and email. So let's start with these 3 here, right? And so if you look at the prototype, when you're looking for that information, basically this is going to get the title. So we can come into the parser here, add in this. Now we already have this. Now here we have the title. And basically what we want to do is we want to say return title equals s-title. Now we're doing strings for everything, so we're not going to have to convert any of that, and this is going to be self.sdata. All right, now it's still going to fail, but when we run it, now we see that we have the title in here, and it simply doesn't match this that is in here. Now, interestingly, this here is an ampersand, but the actual data we're sending, so it looks like when it parses it, it actually fixes this ampersand to be just an ampersand. So let's come through and remove any of these ampersands that are in here, which is going to be all of them. Just remove that real quick. Cool. All right. Save this. Now you'll see in so now we're getting kind of complaining more about, oh, well, these elements aren't what we want. Empty string. Okay, and see, so this is kind of one of the things I wanted to see. So this one now errors out, right? Which I guess was true. Yeah, up here. No element found. So that's the one thing I wanted to see that would be interesting, where if we have partial data and it can't find it, will it throw an error? And then kind of how do we essentially get around that? Like, one thing we could do is we could wrap in a parsing error. For now, what I'm going to say is if self.sdata, so in this case, the empty string will pass through and it won't add anything in here. And so now we get back to just 4 failures. So now we need the language and the copyright. Now to make this easy, instead of having these extra lines here, we're gonna update this, and we're just gonna say that return title equals to that. And now we'll add a couple more lines. So we have title, and then we want language and copyright. And now hopefully we will get only 3 failures. Nope, still got 4. All right, so the partial, what do we want? We want no episode, full parse, partial channel info. So this is the test we want to look at. Oh, I see what I did here. I saved them all under this. So great. So now this test passes and this test passes. So now we also need this information, the URL, description, author, and email. So for description, author, and email. So this one is like a sub component of the iTunes owner, and this one also is of the iTunes. And so that's the thing here. We'll need basically this string here. So we'll need to use this string, and that was what we were doing in here with the formats and stuff. So these are 3 pieces of information we want to fill in. So let's just quickly add this in here, and we'll come over and we'll go return equals tree.findText. All right, cool. So now the URL. Also, okay, so actually the URL is also the URL's up in here in the Atom link. So we will also need this one. And then, I mean, we basically can just use these. So description, channel description. The author is going to be, we're going to use the format, and we'll say S Intune author. And this should just be Intune. Oh, Intune's iTunes. That's my Microsoft brain. And then for the email, so I mean, I could just copy them, but I'm just going to write them out so I kind of have them in my head. We have channel, iTunes, so we do want this, iTunes. Owner, iTunes, email. And then this one here is going to be what is this? Oh, the URL. So this is the atoms. This is just gonna. So this is here, and then this one we have to access through the attribute href. Href. Cool. So now let's run it, and let's see if we get 2. No, now we're back at 4. And so let's go partial channel info. Okay, so this one's causing a problem. So let's see. So these other ones aren't there, but they might not cause any problems, and we'll see what they end up like returning. Yeah, so see, that was the other thing. So the partial one, so it returns none, which then is an equivalence. And the question is, okay, do we want to include this information if it isn't there, right? So basically, do we want this to have a none, like do we want the expected value of this one to be none for any of these values, or we just want it to be non-existent? Now, I mean, you should access it through a get. So what I'm going to say is yeah, so if that's the case, probably don't want it to be added in. But so this one we'll have to do, so and this one anyway, we're going to have to kind of check it. Anyway, so let's do this. Let's add add if value, and we'll have self, and we'll say this is the key. Tree dot find, so path. So we'll say tree path. And then we'll have attrib key so in here, instead of self.s data, I'm going to say self.tree equals from string self.s, or this is data now, and then self dot parsed value this, so now we can move this here, and then here we're going to return self dot parsed value, and then we will update this. And then we're going to comment these out, and we're going to get back to the point where now we should have two tests passing. No indentation error here. Not two tests. Nope. Oh, wait, what? Cannot open file. Okay, there we go. All right, well now nothing passes. Oh, what were we checking? Self.s data. RSS parser object has no attribute underscore s data. Oh, in here, I don't need this anymore. And so if there's nothing in here, so let's do this. Let's first of all back this up. All right, so now we'll need a different way to do this. If not data equals, I guess we can just give it an empty. We can just find something empty to give it, so we can just say something like that. Let's see if that works. Tree is not defined. Here's what happens when I'm just refactoring on the fly. Okay. Cool. So now, which one passed? So the empty string had an error, but it looks like the partial one is the one that passed. So we just had to fix this string and we can get the empty one to pass too. No element found. So we'll just say RSS. What if we just have an empty tag? Will that pass? Nope. Not well formed. Wait, is that how you do an empty tag? No, I think this is how you do an empty tag. My lack of eczema. Okay, now it fails. Does an error. Okay, but that's fine because now we can work on getting this one to pass. So when these elements aren't in here, we don't want to add them. So we're going to come in here, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to say we're going to have value equals self.tree.find text, and then this will be the tree path, right? And then if value self.parse values key equals value. And now we'll come in and we will update these to be a self.add if value, where this is the key and this is the tree path. Right, great, and now it passes. Okay, so now we're only adding these in if they exist. So now we basically do the same thing for these. I'm just going to do the same. So I'm going to uncomment these here and just update them all simultaneously. So this is add if value. Place this here. Come over. Boom. Okay. So now, still the 3 failures, but now for the no episodes. We have the ampersand thing again. So we got the title. So we're missing the URL, right? So this is saying we're missing the URL, and it's also saying that the ampersand is different. So this is no episodes. So did I miss from the laboratory? Oh, it's in here. Now I'm going to have to update all of these. So I'm just going to come in, get rid of this one, come down here, get rid of this one. And then that was the last test. Cool. All right. So now it should just be email. Okay. Yeah, so now we just need to grab the URL. So basically for this one, what we need to do is we need to say, before we do the value here, before we add it in, so if there's a value, then we can proceed. And in here we'll say, if attrib key, then value equals value dot attrib key. And so that shouldn't affect any of the other tests. But now if we add in this one, so we say self.add if value, URL, and then this is going to be f channel s atom link, and then we'll now set this one as href. Cool. All right, so now hopefully we have two. No. So what is this complaining about? So in no episodes, the cert's not equal. I don't like this kind of view of it. I don't know why it's all crammed up like it's. Okay, so it's saying here, this one, instead of having the title and the end, it's got the title and then the comma and then the URL. And on this one, and it also has the addition of the email. But why does this one not have the email? It does. Alright, I'm going to just come in, I'm going to just print parser dot parse. All right. Title, language, copyright, description, author. Oh, okay. So we're not getting the email or the URL. Like, we're not parsing it properly is basically what this is saying. Okay, so this is the email. Channel, teams owner. And that looks right. Channel, iTunes owner, iTunes email. And then the other one, channel, the atom link, and then the href. So channel, atom link, href. Okay. I mean, I guess let's just debug it. All right, so we're missing copyright description, author, copyright description. So we're missing URL and email. So this one and this one. And we can just come in here. And I'm going to copy this. Let me try this again. this one. It's weird because I'm using the virtual environment. But maybe it worked? Alright, I don't even know. Let's find out. Well, self.parse. Yeah, see, it's not actually going to parse anything in the debugger, which is the annoying thing about the virtual environment. And I gotta look up how to do that. I guess, let me turn this off. So if I go cmd venv scripts activate, and then I come over here. Now if I run it, will it do it? See, now it doesn't want to do it. Let's say this doesn't. Stupid virtual environment. What if instead I just do, if I leave it in so yeah, it's the code execution. Alright, screw it. We're doing it old school. Okay, so I'm going to come into here. And I'm going to disable these tests. So we're only getting this one. And then I'm going to come into here and I'm going to we'll print here self.d parse value. So let's just do that on each run. So we get the title, we get the language added, the copyright, and then when we do the URL, we don't get it. So if key equals URL, print value. I'm just going to have to yeah, so it's not finding it. Channel. Okay, so that's correct. Channel link. Is there anything in this one? No, that's for the duration. But we had it working in this one. That's the same. If I do this, that's the same. So why is it not picking up the link? And then why is the other one also not being found? Let's see. All right, it's just channel, iTunes owner. Oh, so this one, that's probably why that one didn't come through. So now we're just missing the URL. We got able to get the email. All right, so why is this? So this isn't finding it. Channel, Adam, and then link. What did we do wrong here? And then it's just href. Did I spell? And then it's href. it doesn't get to the href. I'm going to remove this. So this is grabbing it from the actual feed. So let me just double check that I didn't get any of that syntax wrong. Alright, so here we have, this is the Atom link. And we'll come back over. We'll go to this. It's exactly the same. And then if I'm looking at here, that also matches. So why does it not want to find my URL? I'm just going to remove the expected for a second. Yeah, see? Okay. So channel Atom link. Oh no, this is the one that passes. I mean, everything's exactly the same, so it shouldn't have an issue. It's HTTP. And it's not having an issue here, it's having an issue with this. Where it's just not finding the URL value. What do we have with 32? Might have to just kind of like test this out and figure it out offline. Oh, I see. This is a find, right? I'm not finding the text. I'm finding this here. So that's why, because there is no text for it. So it could say if attrib key value equals self.tree.find tree path. Otherwise, do this. Why is this having an issue? Oh, capitalize. And then if there's a value and there's the attribute key, so I feel like we should just do this. And we'll say if value here, and then at the end if there's a value added in. I mean, that'll work, but we're probably going to want to clean that up in the future. No, did not work. Tree path. Wait, did it work a second ago? Am I just crazy? No, so, okay, so it's still not finding it, but at least we know we were doing that wrong. So let's come back through, let's just password all this, okay, so. So we're getting the element here. Value if okay, well we're at least finding that now, so now it should be just this. Okay, but we're not, so we have a value, but then this is not going in here? That makes no sense. Wait. Why is this so values being set here, and then if not value, that's so weird. Why would it be if not value when the value's there? I don't. So let's say, I'm going to look this up. Mess. Okay, so I guess that's that. I feel like that's a weird way to define this, but so if I say if value is not none, then let's do that. All right, now it passes. The other thing I want to see though is, so let me also just quickly, so if I do self edit value, email, and we'll say channel nothing test. So now this will force it into there. And so the thing I want to see is channel nothing equals none, and then we get to here. Okay, so if it doesn't find it, it will be none. So this is, I guess, the way I want to check it, which is just not what I think it should do. So let's go to these prints. So here we have, so if there's an attribute key, use the find, and then if it's not none, use that attribute key to get the value. Otherwise, just find the text on it, and then if it exists, add it in. Right? It's very simple. Do it for all these. That passes. So we'll come back over, re-enable these tests. And now we should have 2 failing tests. Yeah. So these both just need channel information. And so I wanted to do that. I wanted to do the whole thing on this one, but we're already running long here. So I will do that in a part. I will make a part 2 of this and do that in that episode. So let's just quickly check out the diff. Yeah, updated a bunch of that stuff. Made some test updates, and okay, that was good. I'm going to commit these as 2 separate things because this other one is basically removing the ampersand from everything, so we're going to commit that separately. Removed, we'll say amp, and FTs, implemented parser to pass 3 of 5 FTs. And check the log again. We'll say git tag episode 15. Alright. Yep, and that's where we'll leave it. So next time we will finish up that last bit of the parser. Maybe it'll be a quick one, and we'll see what else we're going to do there. So yeah, until then, see ya.